This person who does that has to go.
Welcome to the Unfiltered podcast. Pathological truth seeking is the aim, with comedy and laughter is the game. Do like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell as soon as possible. Welcome to our new place here. You notice the studio is different. We're now at level 4 on GAC. Still the Castle, Comic Association studio for teaching, learning, and execution. And here with another episode, I'm joined by Dan Raj. Say hello.
Hello.
And NS Seong.
Hello, guys and ladies.
Yeah, don't miss Jenna.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to kick off with our first topic today, right? And recently, comedian Jocelyn Chia.
But I live in America now. First thing I learned about Americans, they cannot tell Asians apart. Learned this because back in college, when I went to the bars with my Asian posse, we could all get in with just one ID. And we used my dad's ID.
Who was actually born in the United States, and she's an American citizen, but spent much of her time here in Singaporean. So she's often seen as a Singaporean comic. Well, she made a few jokes over in the Big Apple, New York, that offended certain people. So the question is, when it comes to comedy, do you think comedians should censor themselves or be sensitive to certain things, or should anything go? What say you, Dan Raj?
I think like what she said, her jokes has been taken out of context.
Right.
But the things that she said is clearly a joke because it's not even true. I don't think Singapore is better than Malaysia in every aspect. Maybe some aspect. Some aspect Singapore is better, but I think the majority of the issues, I think Malaysia is much better than Singapore.
Okay, but the issue was the airplane mainly, right?
I don't think that was the issue. It's not the airplane that was the issue. It's the part where she said,
Yeah, I think probably because I think after that joke, she just kept on going, talking about how Singapore is better, and then she just kept going. So maybe it becomes like like people are thinking that she's taking you as a platform to really display her superiority complex over Malaysia. Maybe
Also, okay,
but she's not even a Singaporean. Why does she represent Singapore?
precisely. So
okay, so you think that if she hadn't carried on with roasting back the audience, if she just left it at the airplane, having problems flying, right?
Yeah.
You think no one would ever heard about this?
I'm not so sure. Of course, from my point of view, I feel that every comedian who goes on stage, right? I mean, I don't think anyone goes up there to offend anyone with their main objective. I mean, most comedians, I would say all comedians go up on stage to get laughs, to get people to laugh, right? So I haven't watched the whole so-called her whole set during that video, but for me, I find that maybe out of context, because obviously the live audience thought it was funny. There were some laughters when she was making those jokes, but obviously when you have snippets being taken out of context and then put on the YouTube, on the video, and then of course there will be people who may not understand the context and then get offended of that. I mean, it's unfortunate for her, but I don't think she's out there to offend anyone, with her comedy.
Yeah, I agree. And it was a very good set. This is very funny. I can't wait to watch her next.
Yeah, I mean,
show.
And she's getting a lot of attention. So
now
she's getting viral for.
I think the last joke was by far the best. When someone mentioned that she might get kicked back on Reddit or something, she said, "Never mind, Malaysia don't have internet."
Yeah.
That was an absolute classic joke. I thought that was really good.
Yeah, precisely. I think, and the live audience in the crowd enjoy it because obviously there were people who laughed, and then of course there were some in So obviously, I think the jokes did resonate with the audience there.
Yeah, but it is funny because it's not even true.
Okay, you still believe that generally Malaysia is better than Singapore?
No, I mean they obviously have internet.
Okay. So I tell you the story, right? I was looking for a hotel. I went to the wrong hotel in JB in a car. And then there was this guard on break. So I talked to him, and he actually offered to come with me in my car to go and had to show me how to get to that hotel, right? So he sat in my car and I drove him all the way. His only request was that I drop him back on the same place that I took him. So he showed me the place, and then I drop him back.
Then
So
you go back to the place.
yes, I go back to the place. Okay.
Okay.
I tried to give him money,
Okay.
and he didn't want to take the money.
Right.
He was just doing this for me for the very purpose of helping me. He's not even Indian. He's a Malay guy, a guard on break, and I was quite touched by this actually. This will never happen in Singapore. In Singapore, people will not help people this way.
Don't like that say lah.
No. Would you ever happen this in Singapore?
Yeah.
You just
I will have helped you.
sit in my car, go and drop, come back. The only request is
I mean,
okay.
other than the fact that I might not feel safe.
Okay. God damn.
If it's you, I might not feel safe, but any other general, other.
So, but see, the thing is, right, I could have just dropped him there and then asked him to go back by himself, right?
Yeah.
It's quite a long drive.
But you're Singaporean, so it will be normal for you to be the bastard, right?
No, it's not that. But the thing is, the jokes that these Malaysians make about Singaporeans are very true. For example, they say things like, when we go to Malaysia, we'll order a lot of food and we won't finish the food because we're very arrogant.
Yeah, because we say very cheap, very cheap.
Very cheap, we just buy every food and we don't eat. But this is true. This is what Singaporeans do. Singaporeans are quite, sometimes they can behave in such bad.
They are quite deaf to the local conditions. You know, when we talk about cheap, they don't realize it's actually quite expensive for the local Malaysians.
Yes, and then they just order the food, they don't finish the food, and then they just leave.
Yeah.
So this actually offends people.
Oh, so that's a stereotype that Singaporeans have in Malaysia, yeah?
But it's true.
Right.
It's true. I've seen it myself.
Yeah, we can't say, of course, everyone behaves like that, but there must be enough of these people to.
Because I believe in stereotypes.
Yeah.
So if you were to go to
true.
a petrol pump, if you go to a petrol pump in Malaysia, you can see a Singaporean car, a Singaporean guy, who'll be bouncing on top of the car.
Shaking the car.
Bouncing on top of the car.
Trying to get every ounce of petrol.
So that the petrol will settle in.
Yeah, the bubbles, because there will be bubbles, right?
Correct.
So they say in the science is that when you shake the car, the bubbles will dissipate faster so you can get more petrol in.
Are you serious?
Yeah, correct. So they will bounce on the car. I see the guy bounce. These are the people who will keep saying that they are very rich. Malaysia is a poor country. They are better than Malaysia, all this kind of thing, right? But you can see them in Malaysia jumping on the car and making sure that the petrol settles in, so there's more space to pump in more petrol.
Yeah, and you won't see them doing this in Singapore.
Yes.
Yeah, because the mentality that in Singapore is very embarrassing to do that.
You can't do this. There's no point doing Singapore. You're going there to pump cheap petrol, right? So I'm not special. I also want to pump as much petrol as possible.
So you do that also?
No, I don't bounce on the car.
You harm the car because you couldn't harm anything else.
I'll just take the car for one round. I will drive, come back and pump again. And I go at early morning.
Actually, that's quite stupid. You know, you understand, right?
Why I waste petrol?
Yeah. Why we want to go drive around just to pump more petrol?
My petrol is cheap. I just acted exactly like a Singaporean. Right? But and the thing is, when they jump, right, it's not as effective as when you drive and come. I actually measured it, and you must go in the morning, early morning, when it's very cold. So the petrol will occupy less space.
Okay.
So you have more space to pump in.
I see.
So you are one of those who contribute to these stereotypes.
No, but they can't see me doing this one.
Okay.
I'm not jumping on the car, right? No one see me, right? Yeah.
Recently, a dweller of a condominium, she criticized certain people from other backgrounds for working in the environment of
private residences.
Private residential areas.
Yeah.
And you can understand her point, but it's odd.
Yeah.
Because if a person's going to look for a job in the service industry, they could come from any walk of life. If she was complaining about people moving into the condominium of a lower standing, that would still be bad, but it would be more understandable. I mean, who do you expect to work in a 7-Eleven? Someone with a degree in engineering? It's not likely.
Yeah.
So what's the point she's making?
I think she probably delivers the point in a very wrong context and very wrong way, because
who is this person?
No, it seems from her name she comes from India. She's a proper Indian expat who works in Singapore.
Right.
Okay.
But that's based on the post.
Satwan.
Satwan Kaur.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think the way she puts it, it makes people feel that as if she's trying to segregate people based on where they stay, right? Because just because you manage to stay in a private residence in Singapore means you should not be mixing around with people from a HDB. I think that comes across really bad for her, right?
Yes.
Because that's not what we are pushing for in Singapore.
Okay. What if a person rents a room in a condo versus someone who owns a jumbo flat, which goes for more than $1 million these days?
Yep.
Yeah.
Precisely, that's how stupid her point is, because obviously there are very rich people and very successful people who choose to stay in the HDB. And
Yeah.
there are people who stay in a condo who's probably living month to month, from mouth, from the pocket to mouth or whatever that is.
This is a room.
Yeah, so to really judge people to say that we should only mix among ourselves based on where you stay, that's pretty much being stupid. I would say that.
I think she probably was exposed to someone who was a bit uncouth or did something wrong.
Yeah.
And then as a knee-jerk reaction, she then posted that. I think that's probably what's happened.
I think the thing is, right, she's from India, I think.
I don't know, but yeah,
maybe
you know
India.
better because you are the authority for
Yeah.
Indian authority.
I did go to India before, and the class division, right, is really big.
Yeah. Yes.
The thing is very big. In Singapore, you don't see that much of a difference.
I think that's a good point. I think that's coming to her mind.
Yeah, so for a foreigner, so like when I went to see my friend, she was staying in a condo, right? And just outside the condo, right? There were people living inside the rubbish dump. There's a rubbish dump, big rubbish dump.
Oh, you mean India itself?
India.
Oh, okay.
Not Singapore.
Not Singapore. So I saw kids, right? They were playing in the rubbish dump, and some of them were doing homework, school homework. Someone was cooking. They live inside the rubbish dump.
Yeah, so probably she probably brought that system to Singapore, and she didn't understand our culture. Is more a melting pot more than anything else.
Yeah, so it's same. Last time when I was doing this online dating, right? I met this girl from UK. So I told her that I'm staying in a HDB flat. So
she was Indian?
She was Indian.
Right.
But she's from UK. So I told her that the HDB flat is actually a government assisted program for living in Singapore. So she immediately thought that I'm very poor.
Yeah.
You live in a council house. In England, we call it a council house.
Yeah,
Correct.
because in England, government housing is considered very low level housing, right?
Yeah.
In Singapore, a HDB flat can go for $1 million or $500,000, and the standard is not as bad as
it's as good as any condos or any private residences.
Yeah.
So, but she doesn't know that, you see. So I try to explain to her, but she ghosts me already, so I can't do anything.
No, but this story, right? This takes me back to, I remember a few years ago, there was an Indian national was scolding a local security guard.
Yes.
You remember that story?
Yeah.
So it must be, okay, is the elitist the right word? There might be a certain mindset that's coming in.
There's a very elitist mindset for, and they base their elitist mindset really on where they're staying, the car they're driving.
Yes.
And that's a very, unfortunate way to look at people, to judge them based on what car you're driving and all this stuff. But anyway, coming to that girl, I don't think she rejected you because of HDB. As usual, I think it's, I think it's your face.
Damn. Okay.
But that last point, the lady mentioned inside the thing about religion.
Religion?
Yeah, she mentioned different upbringings, different etiquette.
Quoting her words, she says, private residents build according to values and mindset. Private residents ignore race, language and religion, and prioritize mental acuity and emotional stability.
Yeah, okay, so maybe she's referring to, for HDB flats, they have this quota system.
Yeah.
So in one block, you cannot have like more than 3 Indians or something like that.
Yeah,
3
something like
Indians
yeah.
at least.
Yeah, based on
they
the
even out.
diversity ratio. Yeah.
Because wait, the Indians will take over the entire block and ask for independence. Or something like that. But why is condos based on intellectual?
No, that's what I'm trying to say.
Because
is
they're
that-
expensive,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
I mean, you can't buy a condo unless you got a really
Yeah.
good job.
You
correct.
can be a idiot. You win Toto and you buy a condo, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to be smart to buy a condo. Right?
No, but that's the exception to the rule, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's
No,
that's
every-
why she's being stupid
every
because
week, right?
she believes that everyone who stays in the condo means they must be driven by a successful mindset, and because they work really hard, or there are some executives in some companies. No, and we know that's not true, right? Like what you mentioned, could be someone who kena Toto or
Yeah.
Yeah.
On average, there are 2 Toto winners per week in Singapore. So every year, there are 100 millionaires who are being created just by Toto. So they could just win Toto and buy condo.
true lah.
Yeah.
You don't have to be smart.
I think she must be regretting this post of her. I mean,
Listen,
she's getting
Yeah,
slammed.
as I said, I think it was a knee-jerk reaction. I think she had a bad encounter with someone, went to a computer, and
Yeah.
keyboard warriored, and the rest is history.
Oh, she's one of those Vogue people, is it?
I don't know,
I
man.
don't know what walk, but just a keyboard warrior. She's ranting, you
Keyboard
know.
warrior, okay.
She
Yeah, she-
emotionally ranted, and then now kinda.
Do you think she should be sent back to India or something like that?
I don't know. Maybe you want to. I mean, if you issue a Indian authority statement, they might consider.
Okay, I need to see her face first.
Yeah, okay. Or whether she's pretty enough.
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
If she's
If you pretty much you can stay.
if she's not pretty
Okay.
and she's making this kind of comments
Okay.
about HDB dwellers, that's pretty rude.
I mean, personally, as a Chinese majority, I don't mind sending her back because we do need to keep the Chinese as a majority.
Yeah.
Need to keep the country civilized.
Yeah. I mean, from my selfish point of view, of course, I mean, I don't mind.
Once again, we've come to that glorious part of the show called Has to Go. And we've got some beauties here today. Some really annoying things. What say you then, Raj?
Yeah, so you know that guy in your class who can rotate the book, right? The first time you see him, right, he looks cool, right? But the problem is he'll be doing it every day, and then he'll have a smirk on his face, like he's got some talent.
Yeah, some superpower or something. Right?
Yeah, but that is a useless talent. That talent to rotate the book in your hand and look like a Hindu god. It's not gonna help you at all. It's like there's no value for it. Are you gonna pay someone for this talent? And in class you'll be doing that. When teacher's teaching, right, you'll be doing that. So I think that guy has to go. Yeah. And
Okay. Next topic.
next one,
Okay.
right? So have you all heard? You've seen this lately. There is a lot of people with stereos attached to their bikes,
Yes.
and then they'll be going around. They'll stop in coffee shops, and their music's being played out very loud for everyone to hear.
Very loud, right?
Yeah, I think they don't know the existence of earpiece. You know the earpiece?
Yes.
They didn't know that they already come out.
And
with that.
usually the music is very what we call obiang one.
Very loud,
Yeah.
very loud music. Sometimes it's not even in English.
Yeah.
It's some language. Today, I was taking the train, right? There was a guy in a handicap bike in the train with the speaker playing some Malay rock song. The song was nice. I'm not saying it's not nice. But other people, we have earpiece, listen to our own music, and that guy's music is louder than all our earpiece music.
Yeah.
Why? That means, right, these people, they saw the car. The only part that they thought was interesting is the stereo. Right?
The doors and the ceiling.
The doors, ceilings, all is nothing. The car, the fact that you are sheltered, doesn't matter. The only thing that attracted them is the stereo. So they took the stereo and put it in
Put
their
it
bikes,
cover.
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
So they go around, letting everybody listen to their music they're listening to. I think it's a way to signal your ideology.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that guy has to go.
The next one.
Yes. What say you, Siong?
I do not know what you think, but there's a group of people or certain people that really piss me off when I go to the fast food restaurants, right? Especially places like KFC. The fun thing about eating fried chicken, right, is that you eat it with your fingers and hands,
That's
Yeah.
and then after that, that's why it's called finger licking good, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And then there will be all these stupid people who say, "Can I have fork and spoon, please? Can I have a fork and knife, please?" And then start cutting up their fried chicken, with a fork and knife as if they're eating at some $400 restaurant, and eating all atas, I wonder why do you, and the worst thing is that some of these people, they go and eat KFC and they don't eat the skin.
Lord.
That's the best part.
What's the point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the point. That's why this person who does that has to go.
Thanks so much for watching the Unfiltered podcast. Do like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And I'll see you again real soon. We there!